So I took the opportunity to send a question into Tom to ask him specifically about the measurements taken through audio, especially Echovox, E.V.P, and this type of research. He gave a long explanation to what he felt it could possibly be. He touched on the areas which I thought I did think about intent. I did think about the large consciousness system, the system we're part of, consciousness itself. And I also thought about consciousness inside a location, visiting, or possibly even stuck in that area. Let's listen to what Tom has to say before moving on to some captures.
Next question comes from Ryan. Ryan, over the past 10 years, has researched dozens of cases of apparitions, hauntings, and closely related phenomenon. Basically, he has caught on tape things, messages that seem like communications. And what he's asking is he really working with the spirits of deceased, or could the larger consciousness system just be nudging him with these messages?
It's most likely, again, everything's in terms of probability here, it's most likely that the larger consciousness system is nudging him with these experiences. Remember, he is a piece of consciousness getting a data stream. He is an individuated unit of consciousness, well, a piece of one called a free will awareness unit. He's getting a data stream, and that data stream is defining the interaction of his avatar with the reality. Okay. Now, he could be measuring something out in that reality, but because he's not measuring physical things, he's measuring non-physical things with a physical device. That's a little problematical. And in as much as he's measuring physical things, then you have to wonder, how do the physical things get there if their source is non-physical? You see, we have this boundary between the non-physical and the physical and its interaction. How do non-physical things create physical things, and how do physical things interact non-physically? Well, there is some interaction between physical and non-physical. That's true, and there can be actually, things on his meter, and it could be the larger conscious system giving him information just for his own growth and experience, or it could be his own intent. He intends to measure something. He wants to measure something. And because he's holding an instrument that has fundamental uncertainty with it, a certain level of noise in the instrument, as all instruments do, he could be causing little signals to occur in the noise based on his intent. Or maybe the people he's with, all of them may have some kind of intent to measure something which could cause a little blip of signal just above the noise in an instrument that measures. So the sources could be coming from all sorts of things. Or there could be a consciousness someplace, some non-physical entity, if you will, that is using its intent to modify a little signal blip in an instrument that he's measuring, because the physical instrument has noise, it has uncertainty, therefore that uncertainty can be manipulated to create little false signals, or I shouldn't say false signals, they're real signals, to create little signals. All right, so there are multiple ways that he could be getting what he's getting. He could be producing them themselves, they could come from others, or it could be just the larger consciousness system giving him experiences to show him that reality is bigger than it seems. Could be any of the above. It could be a mixture of the above. Most likely, it's either things that he and his other companions or other people who know that he does this work or whatever are creating the things that he measures, because the things that he measures, my guess is, all are just on the edge of uncertainty. He doesn't bend over and pick up a non-physical rock. He doesn't have artifacts that are that solid. He has things that are, look at this little signal dither here, right? Just up above the noise. Well, it's a real signal. It's not part of the noise. Where did that come from? You see, it's all stuff that's, his measurements are all in the margins, is what I suspect. That's normally the way they are. And those are the ones that are most easily generated by himself and others who are looking for signals, because they have an intent to find signals, and that intent to find signals can create signals where there weren't any. Or the larger consciousness system can create, of course, any kind of signal at once of any magnitude and size.
What is Echovox? Echovox is an advanced technology where we have the ability to record audio live and gain feedback that could possibly be spirit. Now, what we have here, unlike the Spirit Box, Frank's Box, and these tools, we do not use radio signals. There is a great confusion amongst people who have not used Echovox, where they are saying that it's just picking up radio signals and that we are just taking coincidence and deluding ourselves to think that spirit's there. That is not the case. As soon as somebody turns around and says, you're just picking up radio signals, I know instantly that they have not used Echovox. And to prejudge something such as Echovox or any other tool that we use without actually using it yourself is highly ignorant. That's when you know that the person who claims to be a skeptic or a cynic even is actually a pseudo-skeptic. Someone who pretends to be skeptical but are just following their own little peer group to try and be, or try to seem more intelligent than they actually are. I'll give you one quick example. I had somebody who was a supposed parapsychologist who left a comment on my video, Echovox is shit, I think the title is, and he put a comment up where he says, I agree so much with you, Ryan. I've been saying this for a long time. People are deluding themselves. They do not research things good enough, and I'm glad you said that. But if he had actually watched the video, he would have said that I said the opposite. And this was supposedly, in his words, a parapsychologist, a professional researcher, and he hadn't even watched the video. His comment is sitting in the spam queue, and I didn't authorise it. The reason I didn't authorise it, because I didn't want to embarrass him. So he knows who he is. You really need to be gathering information fully before you can judge anything. And this just goes to show that people are too quick to jump to conclusions and to either promote something or to try and debunk something without actually knowing themselves. And this is why I like a lot of the viewers who are on the channel, my subscribers as well, because everybody does critically think. Everybody is testing fully and they're sharing their results. And it's very exciting to see.